Hello and welcome to the Pickups Tempo Check, baby.
Tempo check, baby. First episode.
I'm your host, Cathryn Eicher.
And I'm your other host, Freddie Rivas. Make sure to follow us at the Pickup WNBA podcast on Instagram, on YouTube for all of your tempo needs. Here we go, Toronto. Here we go, tempo. We got a team, and this is our first episode. We're so jacked to bring you some amazing content and chat about all things women's basketball and tempo.
Yeah, I mean, as our listeners will know, we've been hosting the Pickup WNBA podcast since 2021, and we're based in Toronto, and we've been willing this team into existence, not single-handedly, but we have been willing this team into existence. It's finally here, and we know the team doesn't start until May. But we thought we wanted to hit the ground running with this show. So what we hope to do with this show is bring you all the latest tempo news. We are hoping to be media credentialed. We have been in the past. We hope to attend games, interview the coaches, interview the players, all that good stuff. Have some post-game content for you here. It's all the stuff that we can bring to you as WNBA fans based in Toronto. That's really what we hope to do for you here with the Toronto Tempo. So that's kind of why we chose to separate the shows, because the Pickup WNBA podcast is going to continue as is, covering the league every week as we've always done. But this is specifically for the Toronto babies who are like, I want to know about my local team. Or if you're from somewhere else around the world and you're like, I want to know about the Toronto Tempo, here's your spot, baby. Here is your spot.
Well said, Catherine. I really love the voice you dropped into. That's good stuff. Stick around for more of that, folks. There's a voice that I drop into. What is it like? Is it as charming? Who knows? But I think in this time we're in now, one of the reasons me and Catherine really wanted to get going here is that we want to get you up to speed with the tempo in the W, like way before the season starts. So we're going to be going through, like our journey. We're going to be going through like a lot of the stuff like before the season. There's going to be like there's just going to be an exciting draft. We're going to talk mascot. We're going to talk jerseys. We're going to talk all sorts of things. And we want your feedback too. We're also going to have guests on this podcast. So we're going to make sure we have interviews that, are people we love, people who know the tempo well and are kind of plugged in. And yeah, I think let's get going with this first episode, Catherine. We wanted to talk about essentially like our origins, right?
This is the hero's journey, everyone.
Hero's journey. Yeah.
The hero's journey. How did we come to be? How did we go from being born in the 80s to here today? No, it's not that.
Wow. Remarkable journey. Actually, when me and Catherine were talking about this episode, I even put meet cute. So it starts from me and Catherine's meet cute, which I think I'll go for it. Let's see if I can remember it properly.
Yeah.
It's a bar on College that I don't remember the name of, but me and Catherine were both doing a stand-up set. I had heard about Catherine, and as a guy that was obsessed with basketball, you don't always hear about other female comics that are obsessed with basketball. So a friend of mine, Kevin, was like, "Hey, there's this comedian Catherine. She's really funny. She's absolutely obsessed with basketball." And I'm like, "Well, we're obviously going to be friends, and I guess I'll see her when I see her." But saw you at the show. You're funny. I was like, hope you think I'm funny. And we started chatting.
Yeah, I remember Jordan Foisey introducing us at that show.
Oh, okay.
At that very show. Shout out to Jordan. I also knew about you. I didn't know to the extent you loved basketball, but I obviously knew you from Rap Battles, which is an amazing show that you and Miguel host here. And
Miguel's my brother, by the way. Also,
Miguel Rivas. And Yeah, but that is the night that we met for sure. It was like like there's so many comedians I don't actually remember the night that I met them, but I do remember meeting you. Just
Destiny,
special.
baby.
It's a
Destiny.
it's a meet cute. And then as the years went on, like Freddie, you had an NBA podcast, Confederacy of Dunks, that I would be a regular guest on. We kind of grew closer from that. I eventually started Buckets and Tea NBA show. And then you would guest on that as well.
Mhm.
And even before that, like before the pandemic, we talked about doing something WNBA related for Toronto. We actually talked about doing a petition.
And we actually do you remember we actually worked on the petition?
We worked,
Like,
we never officially launched it.
we never launched it. We had a
Which was
bunch of
very
meetings.
ADHD of us.
Very ADHD of us. That's something you're gonna learn on this temper check is we both have different versions of
It's
ADHD.
just terrible and
Um,
fantastic at the same time.
yeah, it's out of control. So, but hey, we can do it. Jonathan Van Ness can do it. There's a space for it in the podcast world.
There you
ADHD,
go. I love Jonathan Van Ness.
right?
I use his shampoo.
Hey,
There you
JVN,
go.
getting curious. Let's go. But yeah, so we really did work on this petition in our ADHD way, and I think we didn't know what to do or what effect we might have, but I feel like the goal was obviously to get a team in Toronto, but we were just exasperated by the fact that Toronto, this major market, didn't have a WNBA team. Like we were just it didn't make any sense to us. So I think that kind of brought us together. I don't know if that resonates with you, Catherine.
I do. I remember very specifically we met at this cafe. This was kind of closer to where I lived at the time.
Okay.
But we went somewhere in a ritzier neighborhood, and it was like
Mm.
off of Avenue Road, just a bit north of Bloor. And the reason why I remember this is
It all
because
happened in Yorkville.
the reason why I remember this is that after Freddie left, I think I hung out at the cafe a little longer, and my mom called me, and I screamed at the top, like I saw something and I screamed at the top of my lungs, and it was a poodle riding in the back of a convertible. And my mom thought something had happened to me. Like she was so.
You're like, I'm writing a petition.
And
Well,
so
what?
that's why this cafe where we met is like core memory for me, because like I remember my mom being so mad that I screamed at the top of my lungs because I saw a poodle in the back of a convertible. That's how posh the neighborhood was or is. But hey, again, it's all foreshadowing, I feel.
Hmm. And and we wanted this petition to put pressure on MLSE, which just in case you're jumping in and you don't know what that is, that's Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment. They own the Raptors, they own the Leafs, they own I
Toronto
think
FC.
Toronto FC, the Toronto Argonauts, who I believe are playing in Hamilton, Toronto Rock. They or sorry, the Toronto Argonauts play in Toronto. But the Toronto Rock play in Hamilton. It's weird. But anyways,
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Yeah.
yeah. But so we were kind of like, hey, if we're gonna get a team, this is who's gonna do it. Like this is how this is going to happen, we think. So the idea was like if we can get a petition going and get enough people to show that they're enthusiastic about this and commit to being season seat holders, someone with money is going to see this and decide that it's just like a no-brainer. So we didn't even really stand to profit from this in any way, besides the fact that we were just kind of like,
Well, that was a question we kept asking ourselves, is what's in it? Like, what do we personally want to get out of this, if
and the
anything?
answer was nothing really. Like we didn't have a plan for it, is what I'm saying.
No, we didn't. But then obviously, like, the pandemic happened. We were in lockdown. We were watching the W season from the bubble and all that. And I think that's where the idea of a podcast came to be. We were like, hey, like we're at home, everything's at home now. we can podcast from here. Because before that, I think like we were always like guesting, like I'd like go to your place or it was Matt's place
Mhm.
where you would like record the pod, but then it was like, no, we
Matt
figured out
Matt
how to.
Matt was my producer for a very long time, by the way.
Yeah. And then it was like, okay, like we can do this from home. We have more access to the games than we ever
Mhm.
did, especially here in Canada. That was like a huge breakthrough
Yes.
because for a lot of years we did not have access to televised games. And so that changed and we launched it at the very beginning of the 2021 season and we've been going really strong ever since. And Freddie, I got to thank you as well cuz a lot of people have ideas, just like how we had that idea for the petition, but not everybody shows up. It's like a lot of people, they want to just talk ideas and blah, blah, blah. But over the years, like you and I have put in the work to make this show what it is, to be able to launch a second show. We're still putting in the work, by the way, to like keep growing this and make it even bigger and all of that. But yeah, we've been putting in the work since 2021 and we've honestly seen a lot of success. Like we had the preseason game. You can talk about what it was like to go to that, to
Mhm.
have our
Well,
first media access.
yes, and before we go there, I just wanna jump in because I feel like,
Mm.
since this is a love-in and
Aw.
we're complimenting each other, Catherine actually was the one who was like, we got to do a podcast. So like when this sort of petered out a little bit with the petition, like we don't know there was no next step, right? But we both ran our own podcast, like we could do that. So Catherine called me one day and said we should do a WNBA podcast, and we were a little bit, there was some hesitancy because at that point we didn't know that much about the W. Like we both had, like, we would watch the playoffs and we knew some stuff, and Catherine was like an OG fan, but then I think like a lot of people sort of like lost track of like the W in their they're heading into the pretty sure it's the 26th season. I can correct myself later,
Yeah, like
but
we lost
somewhere in the middle there.
in Canada in the 2000s, we lost all television access to games as their television deal fell through and
Yeah,
but anyway,
and
I
and
think
I
we were there for the 25th season. Anyway.
Yes, yes. Um, and I should say we, also, I had been working with the Sonar Network with my other podcasts, Confederacy of Dunks at the time. So I said, I think these are the people. So I pitched Catherine on it, and then I pitched Sonar, and I said, the WNBA is about to blow up, and Toronto's going to get a team. We can't tell you when either of those things are going to happen, but they're going to happen. It didn't even feel like an outrageous take on my part. I was just like, this is what's happening. This is how it's going. This league is going to explode. Um, and it has, and it's going to explode more. And Toronto's going to get a team. We didn't know how it was going to happen, but we knew it was going to happen. So we started the podcast, and yeah, jumping back to where Catherine was, lots of huge moments, lots of success, and
We were probably ahead of our time.
certainly,
But I
certainly,
think it helped us learn about the league. Like I thought like when we first started this show, the pickup, we were like, let's learn about the WNBA with our audience. And
yes.
eventually we'll become experts because we already know basketball so well. So it's like we just but there's so many different parallels. Of course, there was the Brittany Griner situation that we covered very extensively. Um, and then we got media access to a preseason game here in Toronto, which was essentially an audition for Toronto to get a team, but also really like a real mark of like us being like, foot firmly planted in this space, I feel.
Yeah, it was a big moment for us. We got to go to the OVO Center, which is where the Raptors practice, and where the were actually, sorry, I don't know if it's um where the Tempo will be practicing. I think,
Probably not.
yeah. We'll
Different
get to,
ownership.
that's right. And you know what? That's actually a good a good reminder for our listeners as well. So this audition was so successful. right? It was massive. It was a preseason game between the Lynx and the Sky, which at that time, obviously the Lynx are amazing now, but at that time they were both kind of rebuilding. And um so this was not a high stakes game. And it was just sold out. It was electric. We like sold all the merch. It was amazing. Catherine was in the media area. I was in the media gondola. My whole family was there. It was just like such an amazing moment. We went back to my brother's house and we basically kept trying to flip this pizza, which is an insane, hilarious
Oh, we
video.
did
Yeah, we
karaoke.
did karaoke. It was great. And I think we thought, hey, okay, let's just wait for the announcement when there's expansion, it's gonna be us. And the rumors were that it was gonna be us and Golden State. So then this big bomb drops. It's like Golden State's getting a team. And then I was like, okay, we're all rubbing our hands. Here we go. Then the news starts trickling out, and it's kind of like, hold on. Uh, there's actually only one expansion team because Rogers has decided that he doesn't want to pay. This is Ted Rogers doesn't want to pay the $50 million expansion fee. Um,
And he's the one who's the majority owner of MLSE, who we talked about earlier. Uh, and that price tag is laughable considering what teams are going for now.
yeah,
Just
250
saying.
million is the last sale, and then
Whew.
there was an almost sale recently for $350 million for the Connecticut Sun. But yeah,
Whew.
so that was, but like I think all that said, that was heartbreaking. It was really heartbreaking because that like Rogers and MLC, like that's the game in town. Like there's no other stadiums, there was nothing. Like all hope was lost, kind of. Like I think I didn't I felt so defeated in that moment because it was just perfect and it was just so frustrating and it was like, man, one sort of entity, one person has decided that we don't deserve a team and it sucks.
But then things turned around. And Larry Tenenbaum, our favorite billionaire, he stepped away to form his own. Well, he has the Kilmer Group. This is his own organization. Got the money together. Got the stadium together. That was like a huge part of being able to have an expansion team was to have access to your own stadium and all of this stuff. And sure enough, the Tempo are here. And we got to interview Trudeau.
And we got to interview Trudeau, which
Pre Katy Perry.
pre Katy Perry, which by the way is going to be our second episode. We're going to walk you through how exactly that all went down. And this is our first kind of cliffhanger. But it's also an intro and that was just such a big moment and such a big that was the next step in our kind of like press credentials and sort of how we got on everyone's radar. But
Second press credentials.
wait, what did I say?
I thought you said first press credentials for a second.
I thought I said second, but I might have said first.
Oh, my apologies then. This is
Folks,
us. This is us.
This is us, literally. Let us know in the comments who said what, and we will battle it out. I'm just Googling here. Okay, it is Coca-Cola Coliseum because it's
Yeah.
the Torontonians will know this. I always call it Rico Coliseum,
That
which
was
is
the old name.
it's the old name. So yeah, first season the Tempo will be playing in Coca-Cola Coliseum, one of the smallest arenas in the WNBA. Anyways, we will
Wow.
yeah, we will be talking about all the kind of nuances of the Tempo. We're so excited and we thought it would be fitting for this first episode to kind of just give you a really kind of crunched uh you know like abbreviated version of our journey. Obviously we will elaborate on things later, but damn,
Yeah,
we
I
got a
mean,
team and it's so exciting and we really want everyone to join us for this ride.
yeah, and it's December. So we're launching in December. Not a whole lot going on right now, but we thought this is the perfect time to introduce ourselves to possibly a new audience and to let them know who we are, how long we've been here, and why they should keep listening to us for all their tempo news and all that good stuff. And listen, subscribe to us at the Pickup WNBA Pod on your, Spotify, Apple, on social media, Instagram, YouTube, all of that. Tempo check episodes are going to come at you every other week until the season starts.
Yeah, we're gonna start with Fridays. So this first episode is going to come out 12/12, December 12th. Will come out in the morning. So yeah, we're gonna start bi-weekly. And then the plan is when the season starts, we will be podcasting quite a bit more than that. But yeah, we're gonna start bi-weekly. And just a heads up for anyone who's like wondering what's going on, there's a lot of noise out there with the WNBA that is going to directly affect the tempo, which we're going to help contextualize what that all means for the tempo specifically on these podcasts. But just know this, even though this is our first episode and the next episode is going to be, I guess, on the 24th, or we'll figure out
Maybe in the new year.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll
maybe not
see.
Christmas Eve. We'll figure that out. But things may happen very, very, very fast as well. So that's a possibility here.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with the CBA negotiations and so on. We'll be anticipating an expansion draft. We'll be anticipating a very expansive free agency process, followed by the actual rookie draft and then the season, which I think will all be happening in a fairly condensed timeline due to these negotiations. So things are going to happen fast. And yeah, we're here. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, let's do this. Tempo check.
Tempo check, baby. Let's wrap it up there. Thank you so much for listening and tuning in to the first episode of the Tempo Check. Please like and subscribe, all of that good stuff. Leave a positive review. Remember, we're on the Pickup WNBA Pod. This is a sister show, Tempo Check. Excited to be coming at you, and we'll catch you next time.
Beautiful. Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.